just a couple mines are going to buy him just those precious couple seconds to get siege mode down so he can hold this off. So fOrGG safe for the moment, and getting that third base all the way around, very long. Well, actually, it doesn't look as long right now as it did when I was checking out the map, a picture of the map before. Anyway, Bisu looks to be getting his third base going as well. There it goes. And he's already got the pylons set up to block vultures there. Not quite as effectively, but anyway. And yeah, so pretty. Yeah, okay. So he's gonna put a couple tanks down there, and it looks like he can kind of defend both areas at once with this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he can stretch out his siege line kind of up to the north, and protect that third base as well. So I guess it is easier to defend than I expected. Anyway, Bisu's going to get his third base up as well, and oh, we got a Stargate warring. We got Templar Archives in view, so he's probably got an Arbiter's Tribunal around somewhere. Wraith still running around. We saw him comsat and kill off an Observer earlier. I like that. Still another Observer running around, but handy to kill off those Observers so you have less information about where your defenses are and what kind of army composition you have. And that third base is about to go up, but fOrGG got his second base up slower because he had that big push, but he's gotten his third base up faster. So he's actually, I think, going to be, yeah, they're going to be about on even terms as far as money goes. fOrGG was basically able to hold off, you know, since he's Terran, hold off for a while with just a few tanks to get that second base up. Bought him some time to get his forces back up. Excuse me. Anyway, some more tanks coming out here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that was 8 factories for fOrGG. A nice group of factories there. He's going to start pumping out lots and lots of units here. I haven't seen if he has any armories up. I'll try and check the upgrades if I have a chance next time they observe him. Okay, so Bisu doesn't have any upgrades yet. More common for the Terran to try and get upgrades anyway. Earlier on, that is. Anyway, so he's just trying to do some harassment. I think that's a good thing for fOrGG to do. Bisu has been generally shutting down all harassment, so it hasn't accomplished anything yet. It's still important to keep trying, though. It might be interesting to see him do a drop, like a vulture drop. That might be kind of cool. Run it around the back there or something like that. Kill some probes. I think that would be a fun thing to see, but I don't know if fOrGG is going to do that. He's kind of a little bit thin on troops, actually. Oh, never mind. Okay, he's okay on troops. fOrGG killing off the mines in his base. Oh, watch out, Dragoons! fOrGG killing off the mine in his base just because he knows if the crap hits the fan, then he might get mines dragged into his own forces there, and more factories going down. Starport still just chilling there, and I like this. He's putting down mines all over the back of his base. He knows that there might be a recall. Excuse me. He knows there might be a recall, so he's putting down mines just kind of in random places. It can be so handy. They go in there with a recall, and if they land on even just one mine, it softens up their entire recall force so much. And if you're lucky, they land on 2 mines and blow up all of their Dragoons as soon as they land, which is just hilarious to see. Anyway, Bisu looks like he's trying to push down a little bit here into the southernmost expansion. He's got a large force bearing down. It looks like he's going straight in here. The Zealots getting a little bit caught up on these mines, though. But fOrGG's forces are all up to the north. They're not in range to hit these southern troops. And Bisu, both players mismicroing a little bit here. Bisu's going to be able to get all the way into this expansion. He's attacking from the north side as well, just to be distracting. The SCVs are running out of the way. That beautiful stasis is going to make it so that those Dragoons and Zealots can move all the way in, and fOrGG's in real trouble here now. He's had to float his command center out. He's had to cancel the extra base he was making. And Bisu, with tons of troops coming out of nowhere, sweeping all the way into fOrGG's natural expansion. He may sweep all the way into the main at this rate. He's just clamping down so far into Bisu's base. Bisu's going to have to mount a defense on the top of his ramp, basically. Seize up some tanks up there, although then they can get stasis as well. It looks like Bisu is going to fall back a moment just to clean up those troops that are coming out of stasis now. And it looks like Bisu is rallying his forces here, but I think that they're all Zealots being rallied here, and fOrGG has a lot of vultures coming out there, so he may have even anticipated that next wave would have been all Zealots. Actually, that would have been kind of interesting. He knows that the Zealots are fast, and you usually produce speed Zealots to get to the battle faster. when you're trying to reinforce an attack like that, and that was really clever actually, producing more zealots. I would have panicked and said, oh my gosh, I need siege tanks on the ridge, but he produced a lot of vultures instead. I mean, he only had a couple machine shops still, but still, producing a lot of vultures and cleaning up those zealots that came in from the extra wave. Nicely done. And now he's got a bunch of extra vultures now, which he's going to use to run in and try and do some harassment of his own. Going to get shut down by another pylon wall. Nice little arc there of pylons. Bisu's going to try and build up his Dragoon force again. Lots of observers are in the mix. Whoa, excuse me. Whoa, actually, this is not just vultures. This is tanks and Goliaths over here as well. The Goliaths forcing that Arbiter to stay back a little bit. There he goes. He needs to pick off that Arbiter. Oh, more Goliaths coming from the back, picking off the Arbiter, and those Dragoons are going to get surrounded and killed off as well by more tanks and such there. And wow, fOrGG may come back here and may be able to kill that 12 o'clock expansion if he can siege up a little bit farther north. He's managed to hold this position for just a moment. Bisu still has the potential, and it looks like he's actually killed off his own pylon in order to run troops up that ramp to attack from the other side. And here he comes trying to attack from that other side, right in the middle of an unsiege though, which may have been for the best with all these zealots coming in, but they're going to get really close and they're going to drag, oh man, just destroying those tanks. And fOrGG knew that was going to happen. He pulled most of his forces out there as soon as he could. And he's managed to get the 4th base up as well, actually. He must have built it in his main base. He must have built it in his main base and then floated it over once he had to cancel it as expansion and floated it over there. As well, I guess he could have built it as his other expansion too. But anyway, Bisu's still at 4 bases, getting a 5th. fOrGG at 4 bases now as well. Maybe thinking about taking a 5th, although at this point he can just build up forces off 3 bases. He's probably going to be good to do that. Anyway, Bisu now pushing down here with another kind of exploratory force. I like this, sending in a single zealot first to try and soak up mine fire. He's going to get pushed back by just a couple tanks. I mean, this is just a little small exploratory force, just being harassment. He's going to rally some more troops to that location, though, and, well, maybe they're not rallied, actually, but he's going to group them up with his main army and, and just expand the army there. Anyway, fOrGG spots this new expansion going up. He knows that Bisu's continuing to expand. He knows he needs to shut down some of Bisu's econ pretty quick. He needs to do some more harassment or something. Again, I think some vulture drops would be a really nice way of moving around the map and getting in behind. And oh, that mine doing lots. Oh, wow, more mines going off. He's just dying to all these mines in the field. And look at this. Somehow these vultures got into the main base there for a moment, taking out a few probes. Nicely done, planting some mines in the gateways. Bisu has that little wall of pylons with a little gap for his forces to get out, and I guess the gap was not plugged for just a moment. And fOrGG took the opportunity. Anyway, fOrGG putting down another machine shop here. He hasn't built any more factories in a while. He hasn't really needed to. He's just running around lots of vultures in the middle of the field here. And this is just going to be a macro match at this point. Both players just really trying to build up as much forces as possible. Ooh, the comset going off, trying to pick off the observers. I like that. If he can pick off the observers, then he can make it so the mines are just that much more effective. Bisu pushing down the ramp here, but there's a lot of tiers of tanks here. Tanks behind tanks behind tanks. Stasis going off on that group of Goliaths is going to protect the Arbiters, keep everything cloaked, but it's going to mean that he can't stasis the tanks as much, which is what he kind of wanted to do, but actually the Zealots are going to be able to get in very close. Tons of Zealots moving in here. fOrGG is in real trouble again, being pushed back into his natural expansion one more time, and most of his forces again spread so thin because he's had to spread it across such a far line, and oh, that command center's going to go down. He's not even repairing it or anything like that. He didn't lift it and get it out. Now he's going to try and hold his ramp here. A single Zealot, another Zealot is going to move up there. It's going to get killed off. Those Dragoons are not going to quite be able to get up there and kill, but no, more Zealots coming in to reinforce. Beast, you can see on the minimap. Oh, beautiful stasis right in front of the ramp, catching all of fOrGG's troops and making it so that he cannot reinforce at all. And now he's just going to stomp down on that 4th base, now only 3rd base of fOrGG, while those units are stasis into his base. Only a couple tanks there. Here he comes down the ramp. Those 2 tanks trying to hold things off. The Goliath's killing off the Arbiter. Going to uncloak anything, but Zealot's coming from all sides. He's forced to lift that command center. And Bisu mining at 2 bases still, and that 3rd base actually. just doing so much mining is going to be able to build up so many troops. fOrGG is barely mining at all right now. This is looking really, really bad. He may have glitched those forces off the ramp. I'm not sure, but no. Okay, they've woken up from stasis anyway. But basically, he's just been halted completely, except for his natural expansion, which is almost mined out. fOrGG is going to have to give up any moment now, I think. His SCV is still just running around, dying, distance mining from that third base, and somehow fOrGG managing to fight this off, managing to build up a force of tanks regardless, but I think it's only a matter of time at this point. Look at he's so far ahead he can stasis the SCVs on the minerals to stop him from mining. That was his only mining, and he stasis the SCVs. And fOrGG, GG's. And by the way, I know it said Never. That's the other name that he goes by, but I've always called him fOrGG, so that's what I called him. Anyway, SKT1 still in the match. Bisu winning that set on Circuit Breaker. Very, very interesting map. Kind of a cool one. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks very much for watching, and I'm going to do Game 6 whenever I have a chance, hopefully soon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. GG, thanks for watching.